put in the screen?
Mataji, he is on listening mode. He messaged in the group.
So till which verse we did? Because I am not having that book which I was carrying. That is why I need the verse number. I need the verse number where we had stopped. I am in Nagpur. That is why.
Mataji, in the last class I was not there, no, so I have not checked. I have updated till 1.2.83 in my notes.
Okay,
So
1.2
post
down. 83.
83,
No?
but
Yeah.
post which we had two classes, Mataji. One I have listened, one in one class I was on listening mode, so I have not updated my notes.
So it is 118 to 1120. Okay. 1.2 dot is 118 number. Just wait. Jumur has marked some.
We are starting with 8th chapter.
Okay. So 1.2 point. How much we have done? 1.2 point. Pushpa, do you remember? What was the last verse? Pushpa?
No, we have to start with the 8th chapter.
Yeah, but last verse was what? 1.2 point?
No, that I have not written down.
That you should write down, na? That is more important. Who has written down? Anybody knows? Because you have to study along with that. If you don't study along with that, this doesn't make a sense then. You don't study along with it. He has done it. So just wait. Aditya has done.
I'll have to, we have to call Aditya, I think.
What did you say? 1.2 point. What was the verse you told?
1
1.2
dot
point.
2.83 Mataji. Till
Okay.
that I have updated my notes, and that
Yeah.
was till sixth chapter Mataji, post which we have completed seventh also, and then we are starting
Yes,
with
yes,
eighth.
I
Hare
got it.
Krishna
Now I
Mataji,
got it.
it is 1.2.118.
Yeah, yeah, that is it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Yeah, it is 118. It's not written properly. This chapter is 118, 1.2.118 to 1.2.120. This is the chapter. And Jumur has written 118 to 120. It's actually 1.2.118. That is why this book, write down which are the verses you should know. So let us see. Seva nama pradhanam varjanam yatha varahe ममार्चना अपराध ये कीर्त्यन्ते वसुते मया वैष्णवेन सदा ते तु वर्ज वर्जनीयः प्रयत्नतः. So avoiding seva and nam aparad that has been given here. One has to avoid
Mataji,
seva
repeat
aparad.
the verse number, no Mataji. Sorry Mataji. Verse number.
1.2.118. This
One
chapter
point.
contains 118, 119 and 120. Okay? There is seva and nam aparad. 118 speaks about seva aparad and nam aparad. The devotee should avoid the offenses in deity worship described by me, O earth, at all times and with great care. So, seva aparad, that means when we are performing deity worship, we have to be very careful. What deities are persons. You cannot just do what you want. There are ways to worship the deities, there are ways to wake up the deities also. Seva and nam aparad has to be taken care. Okay. So who is going to read the verse? Aditya is in the listening mode, no?
Yes,
So you
Mataji.
start
I'll
reading
read.
the. You read. Read.
Hare Krishna. Offenses to be avoided. In the supplementary Vedic literature, there is the following list of 32 offenses in the matter of serving the Lord. One should not enter the temple of the deity in a car or palanquin or with shoes on the feet. One should not fail to observe the various festivals for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such as Janmashtami and Rath Yatra. One should not avoid bowing down before the deity. One should not enter the temple to worship the Lord without having washed one's hands and feet after eating. One should not enter the temple in a contaminated state. According to Vedic scripture, if someone dies in the family, the whole family becomes contaminated for some time according to its status. For example, if the family is Brahmana, their contamination period is 12 days. For Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, 15 days. And for Shudras, 30 days. One should not bow down on one hand. One should not circumambulate in front of Sri Krishna. The process of circumambulating the temple is that one should begin circumambulating from the deity's right hand
Dakshinam.
side of the
Circumambulate means
temple.
Dakshinam.
Hmm?
Generally, we have seen people not doing like this round. We should not do that.
Yeah,
Circumambulation should start from the what has been given. Deity is
from the
right.
deity's right hand side and come around. Such circumambulation should be performed outside the temple structure at least 3 times daily. One should not spread his legs before the deity. One should not sit before the deity holding the ankles, elbows, or knees with one's hands. One should not lie down before the deity of Krishna. One should not accept prasad before the deity. One should never speak a lie before the deity. One should not talk very loudly before the deity. One should not talk with others before the deity. One should not cry or howl before the deity. One should not quarrel or fight before the deity. One should not chastise anyone before the deity. One should not be charitable to beggars before the deity. One should not speak very harshly to others before the deity. One should not wear a fur blanket before the deity. One should not eulogize or praise anyone else before the deity. One should not speak any ill names before the deity. One should not pass air before the deity. One should not fail to worship the deity according to one's means. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord is satisfied if some devotee offers him even a leaf or a little water. This formula prescribed by the Lord is universally applicable even for the poorest man. But that does not mean that one who has sufficient means to worship the deity very nicely should also adopt this method and try to satisfy the Lord simply by offering water and a leaf. If he has sufficient means, he should offer nice decorations, flowers, foodstuffs, and observe all ceremonies. It is not that one should try to satisfy the Supreme Lord with a little water and a leaf, and for himself spend all his money in sense gratification. One should not eat anything which is not offered first to Krishna. One should not fail to offer fresh fruit and grains to Krishna according to the season. After food has been cooked, no one should be offered any foodstuff unless it is first offered to the deity. One should not sit with his back toward the deity. One should not offer obeisances silently to the spiritual master, or in other words, one should recite aloud the prayers to the spiritual master while offering obeisances. One should not fail to offer some praise in the presence of the spiritual master. One should not praise himself before the spiritual master. One should not deride the demigods before the deity. This is a list of 32 offenses. Besides these, there are a number of offenses which are mentioned in the Varaha Purana. They
Okay.
are as follows.
Wait,
One should
Pushpa.
not,
Pushpa, wait.
yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
So now 119 and 120. सर्वापराधो कृत अपि मुच्यते हरि संशयः हरेरपि अपराधान् यः कुर्यात् द्विपादपंसवः नामाश्रय कदाचित् स्यात् तरतेवः स नामतः नाम्नोऽपि सर्वसुहृदोऽपि सुहृदो ह्यपराधात् पतत्यधः So in Padma Purana also, the same thing has been described. The Seva Purana has been described. Varaha Purana has described. So what we studied now was from Padma Purana. So that has been given in 119 and 120. A person who commits all offences is freed from all those offences by taking shelter of Hari. But the two-legged animal who commits offences against Hari is freed from those offences by taking Hari's name. However, though the name is friend of all, by committing an offense against the name, a person falls to the lower range. Now see, nice. If a person commits offenses, any offense, he can take shelter of Hari. If he commits offense against Hari, he can take the shelter of Hari's name. If he commits offenses for the name itself, then he falls down. So Jiva Goswami, first he is speaking about the Seva Aparadha that we heard now. Entering the Lord's temple in palanquin, not observing the festival of the deity, not offering obeisances in presence of the Lord. So deities are persons, first thing. Festivals, Sripad Ramanujacharya says, every day should be a festival, Nitya festival. And even in the house also, every day you should offer to Lord. Dress Lord nicely, dress yourself also nicely, and present before Lord very nicely with tilak. How a devotee dresses himself with decorating his body in 12 places with Urdu Pundra. So if you decorate yourself nicely, then only we can understand what is bhakti. Now we had gone to South temples in Tirupati, in Ahobilam, even in Mantralayam. We saw the pujaris. They are dressed so nicely. They dress in silk. They wear uh, diamond. Why? If the servant is so wonderful, then what will be the master? That is why one has to present himself very nicely before Lord. Not just you don't even braid your hairs and just stand before Lord like a bhikari. No, anyhow we are beggars. But for the world one should show, if the servant is so wonderful, then how will be the master? As Prabhupada says, when the preacher goes out, he should go in a very nice dress. And if he is a brahmachari, he should wear a good cloth, whatever cloth, sadhu cloth, that it should be clean, neat. And in this way, one should pay obeisances to the Lord. In unclean state, we cannot worship Lord. That is why early morning one has to wake up, brush the teeth, clean oneself properly, and then present oneself before Lord. And then one should not offer respects in one hand, just going down like this. No. Put pranam, panchanga pranam for the Matajis and Sashtanga pranam for the Prabhujis. And then is all has been given that how circumambulating before the Lord. It should be avoided. One has to do the pradakshina fully, and then spreading the legs before Lord, and then sitting in virasana position. This all should not be there. Virasana means taking the two legs and then folding the hands like that, and lying down before the Lord. When in the house also, you should be very careful. Then eating before the Lord, telling lies, talking loudly, fighting, howling, quarreling, and then thanking someone, praising someone. That should not be done before the Lord. Before the Lord, one has to praise only Lord only. We are not supposed to praise everyone. Covering oneself with a blanket, criticizing others, praising others, both should not be done. Using vulgar language, passing air, offering less items, for or more items, offering less items when capable of offering more items. When one is capable, you should give more. Whatever we eat, better is yet karoshi dashnashi joshi dadasi. Whatever we eat, that has to be given. If somebody is not having that much, patram pushpam palam toyam. If somebody is having more opulence, he can do. Then offering seasonal fruits, that should be done. If it is not done, it's an offense. offering the deity what is offered already to someone else, sitting with one's back to the Lord, greeting others in front of the deity, praising oneself in front of the deity, being silent in front of Guru, criticizing the deity. So, all these things are offenses. Now, Varaha Puran speaks about 32 offenses. Okay, read the next paragraph.
Mataji, I have one question.
Yeah.
This point number 5, that one should not enter the temple in the contaminated state when some family member dies. But then at that time, we really need our deity. We need to worship him. So then,
You can
what should.
worship by chanting.
Okay. But you should not enter the temple. Thank you.
Even when the child is born, also, na? At time also, when it does not enter. Okay, okay, Diya,
Uh,
read.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, this is a list. I should start from there, right?
Yeah, this is a list of 32 offenses. Besides
This
this,
is
there are a number of offenses which are mentioned in Varaha Purana. Start reading from there. They are as follows.
They are as follows. One should not touch the deity in a dark room. One should not fail to strictly follow the rules and regulation in worshipping the deity. Third, one should not enter the temples of the deity without first making some sound. Fourth, one should not offer any foodstuff to the deity which have been seen by the dogs or any other lower animals. Fifth, one should not break silence while worshipping. Sixth, one should not pass urine or evacuate while engaged in worshipping. Seventh, one should not offer incense without offering some flower. Eighth, useless flowers without any fragrance should not be offered. Ninth, one should not fail to wash his teeth very carefully every day. Tenth, one should not enter the temple directly after sexual intercourse. 11th, one should not touch a woman during her menstrual period. 12th, one should not enter the temple after touching a dead body. 13th, one should not enter the temple wearing garments of red or blue color or which are unwashed. 15th, 14th, one should not enter the temple after seeing a dead body. 15th, one should not pass air within the temple. 16th, one should not be angry within the temple. 17th, one should not enter the temple after visiting a crematorium. 18th, one should not belch before the deity. So, until one has fully digested his food, he should not enter the temple. 19th, one should not smoke marijuana or ganja. 20th, one should not take opium or similar intoxicants. 21, one should not enter the deity room or touch the body of the deity after having smeared oil over his body. 22nd, one should not show disrespect to a scripture teaching about supremacy of the Lord. 23rd, one should not introduce any opposing scriptures. 24th, one should not chew betel before the deity. 25, one should not offer a flower which was kept in an unclean pot. 26, one should not worship the Lord while sitting on the barefoot. One must have a sitting place or carpet. 27, one should not touch the deity before he has completed taking bath. 28, one should not decorate his forehead with the three-lined tilaka. 29, one should not enter the temple without washing his hand and feet. Hare Krishna.
Okay. 1 minute. Now, all these points are what should not be done, what should not be done, what should not be done. Hmm. Even there also. Because offenses means what should not be done. Now, here, one should not touch the deity in a dark room. Very important. So, a little bit, you have to put away. Diya. Antaratri speaks about Diya. And then one should not fail to observe the rules and regulations. Have to observe four regulatory principles, four rules and four regulatory principles, 5 rules and the four regulatory principles have been given. And then one should not enter the temple without first making some sound. Why this is given? Because subtle elements also come in worship. So that is why you clap. All the subtle elements will go. Sometimes in subtle form, even the denizens of the heaven also come to worship. And wherever Lord is there, there all the subtle elements are also there. They are also worshipping. So you have to be very careful. When you enter, you have to little bit clap. Clap and enter. And then what is given? One should not offer any footstep to the deity which has been seen by dogs or lower animals. That is why in the house, dogs should not be kept. Because knowingly, unknowingly, they will come inside. Dog is meant to be kept outside. A lady came, I was taking the class on Samudra Manthan. A Bhagavad class was there, 24, 25, 26. I think on 25th, there was a verse where Lord Shiva drinks a poison. Some part of the poison falls down, and that has been tasted by or licked by some animals. In that animals list, mosquito is also there, dogs is also there, snakes are there, scorpions are there. I don't know this lady from where she came. Then she asked me after the class. Actually, afterwards I came to know that she came in the last only. She asked me, "ISKCON hates dogs?" I said no. No, but why you are speaking that dogs are should not be kept? Dogs bite is very poisonous because Bhagavatam speaks. That is why I spoke. Whatever Bhagavatam speaks, only I will speak. Na? If Bhagavatam would have told, you call dog as Mata, we would have called dog as Mata. But cow is Mata. No, I will name, I have 15 dogs in my house. I said, very good. You all hate dogs? I said, we don't hate dogs. Because Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Shuni Cheva Chapake Pandita Samadarshina. In fact, we look everyone with the equal vision. But we know how to treat them accordingly. We cannot call the group of dogs, please sit here and I will take Bhakti Shastri class. Not do that. So we know how to treat them, where to keep them. If you are kept in the cage of tigers, will you survive? In the same way, we are keeping the animals in our cage and we are trying to feed what we like. Animals have a particular type of food which Lord has already provided them and they have their own instinct how to cure themselves also. We are actually taking away their freedom. Then she told I was recommended to keep 15 dogs and that is how I got a child. Very wonderful. What's the problem if I go on loving the dogs? I said, no problem. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajatente kalevaram. When you leave the body, if you have the dog's consciousness, we'll get the dog's body. Then she said, what is your problem if I'm born in as a dog? I said, well, I don't have any problem. You can even keep pigs also. And you can be born as a pig also. What is the problem? I don't have any problem. She told, I know, mother, you're going on telling, I don't have any problem. You should have problem. I said, I should have problem. Why? You are guru, and I'm asking you that should I keep dog or not? I said, you did not ask this. And then when you say I am your guru, then you should know how to speak also. You should know how to speak. When I'm saying dog is a lusty animal, you should accept it because the Bhagavatam speaks about it. Then you're saying fathers are also lusty. This is wrong thing, na? The dogs have fur, which is not good for our inhalation also. We eat, it goes in our stomach. Which I'm saying this from the Bhagavatam. I'm not saying again from the Bhagavatam. You are saying pollution is there in the air also. So then when you're arguing for every step, what I have to do? You keep dog, you keep pig, you do whatever you want. Then she said, so then I don't have the right to ask question. I said, you have, but it should be in a submissive way. Tadviti paripatena pariprashnena sevaya padakshanti te jnanam jnanina satyadarshanaha sevaya is most important. Okay, how much money you want? She asked me. How much ISKCON wants? Can you give or what? I said, this is not the way. We are not here sold out dogs here. You can sleep with dogs. You can keep your baby with the dog. Some Pandit has told, 15 dogs you keep, you will get a baby. You go and take shelter of such Pandit. Don't approach to me. And if you really want to approach to me, then listen to what Bhagavatam speaks. I don't have time to argue with you. So there are people who love dogs so much that they cannot even hear about dogs. So they feel that on the platform we cannot speak about the dogs. When it comes, some point comes, we speak. But we also speak that the Shivananda Sen, who was a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who used to take Puri Yatra every time from Navdeep. A dog was following Shivanand Sen and he provided all the facility to the dog. And this dog got liberation when it met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fed him the pulp of coconut, that white pulp comes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made the dogs chant Hare Krishna. And in this way, Shivanand Sen saw that how dog attained the liberation in that state also. So we are not hating dog, but we should know that what is the purpose of keeping the dog? Are we chanting? Are we making it chant? No. Better is keep it outside. Keep it outside. Let it do its own duty, whatever duty it has. Let us not spoil their freedom. Everybody has their freedom. So in the house, if you keep, it will touch. It will sometimes you may touch. Sometimes the dog may see. It has been given. That is again seva aprad. Again, one should not break silence with while worshipping. Yes, we should be silent. We should not break the silence. Immediately call comes, immediately you run and take the phone. Hello, George, say, what is this? You're worshipping, na? Lord is accepting your worship. Like you're taking giving bath to your child. When we were small, very small, our mothers used to take bath, give us bath. Even the phone calls used to come also. That time mothers used to not attend. How can a mother leave the child in the bathroom and go away? Can we do that? No. So in the same way, when we are worshipping, phone calls are not very important or anything is not so important while worshipping. Urine evacuating, it all should be done before only, not while worshipping. Now emergency, suppose somebody has loose motion, then what? Emergency, it's allowed. But generally, it's not allowed. Any emergency, suppose loose motion is there, is worshipping. At that time, one should minimize the worship. Minimize the worship. Then one should not offer incense without offering some flower. Yes. The first is incense, isn't it? First we offer. But first invoke Lord. That is why first flower is offered. Oh Lord, come. Then dhupa, deepa. This flower is invoking. Like if you see in the puja also, Karma Kanda puja also, one supari is kept. Invoking Ganapati, offering the flowers, then only dhupa, deepa and all is there. Same thing. First invoke, call. Useless flowers should not be offered. Jhendu, bindu and all should not be offered. We have now stopped in our center. We are only taking now fragrant flowers. You can take chameli, you can take mogra, you can take ashtar, you can take what is it called? Shevanti. Some fragrance is there. But Jhendu has no fragrance. Generally, Jhendu is put on the dead body. That is why if you go to south also, no temples have Jhendu. Jhendu marigold should not be offered to Lord at no circumstances. Other all so many flowers are there. Rajnikanda is there. What is that? That lily is there. Roses are there. Okay. Then one should not fail to wash his teeth very carefully every day. It should not smell because you're going to chant the stotras. Lord should not sit like this. Isn't it? Be very clean. One should not enter the temple directly after sexual intercourse. Actually, one has to become pavitra. One should not touch a woman during her menstrual period. One should not enter the temple after touching a dead body. One should not enter the temple wearing garments of red, blue color, or garments which are unwashed. Why this red, blue color and all has been told? It's so bright. It's so gaudy. It's very gaudy. Generally, when you enter temple with a red color, dark red, people's attention on you falls. Uh, so we should not enter. And generally, these colors, red and blue, they're only for the deities. We have to not wear that and enter the altar. Okay, one should not enter the temple after seeing a dead body. Okay, then one should not be angry within the temple. One should not enter the temple after visiting a crematorium. One should not belch before the deity. So until one has fully digested his food, he should not enter the temple. One should not smoke marijuana or ganja. One should not take opium, similar intoxicants. One should not enter the deity room or touch the body of the deity after having smeared all over his body. One should not enter the deity room or touch the body of the deity after having smeared oil over his body. Okay. One should not show, that means fully applying the oil and then touching the deity should not be done. Then one should not show disrespect to scriptures teaching about the supremacy of the Lord. One should not introduce any opposing scripture. One should not chew betel before the Lord. One should not offer a flower which was kept in an unclean pot. One should not worship the Lord while sitting on a bare floor. One must have a sitting place or carpet. Why? Because worshipping Lord is above the plane. It is not on the earthly plane. That is why it should be a little higher. And one should have a carpet. One should not touch the deity before one has completed taking bath. One should not decorate his forehead with three-lined tilak. Like this. There's a nice story behind it. Previously, everybody used to put like this on Urdu Putram. And the question arose, who is a lemon then? How will he recognize who is a lemon? So whoever puts like this is a lemon. Simple. So this was told by one of the important preachers, Amogila Prabhu. And all the Shaivites and also got so angry. The Shankar Mata people and all got angry. You're calling us demons. It is there in the Shastra, then what we can do. But it should not be boldly spoken also, those who are wearing like this is a lemon. So better is we avoid this topic only in the public. But Prabhupada says, avoid it. Because as a Vaishnava, we know that Urdu Pundram is only there. One should not wear. So somebody I told used to wear, I showed him. Then what he did was, Mataji, it will take long time for me to come out of this. So what I'll do is I'll wear like this also, I'll wear like this also. I said, do it. If you do like this, somebody will think you are a Christian now, having a cross. One should not enter the temple without washing his hands and legs. That is why in the temple, this place should be kept for washing the hands and legs. A provision should be kept. So that if you go to Tirupati, now we went to Tirupati Balaji, completely flow of water is there. So automatically the legs are washed. Many of the temples in Jagannath Puri also, if you see, in the entrance only water will be flowing. So the person washes his hands and legs. In our Jagannath Devasthanam, we have kept a place where you can wash the hands and legs. Okay. Okay, read further. Aditya, will you read that other paragraph?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Other rules are that one should not offer foodstuff which is cooked by a non-Vaishnava, one should not worship the deity before a non-devotee, and one should not engage himself in the worship of the Lord while seeing a non-devotee. One should not worship the deity without first worshipping the demigod Ganpati, who drives away all impediments in the execution of devotional service. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that Ganpati worships the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev and in that way has become auspicious for the devotee in clearing out all impediments. Therefore, all devotees should worship Ganpati. The deity should not be bathed in water that has been touched by the nails or fingers. When a devotee is perspiring, he should not engage himself in worshipping the deity. Similarly, there are many other prohibitions. For example, one should not cross or step over the flowers offered to the deities, nor should one take a vow in the name of God. These are all different kinds of offenses in the matter of executing devotional service, and one should be careful to avoid them. Hare Krishna.
What is written see here? He is a non-Vaishnava. That means he is not a devotee. He is not no taste for the devotional service. So before him, we should avoid offering, avoid worshipping. Was he will have the mood of criticism. So better is avoid. Now see Ganapati. One should begin the worship. That is why Yat Pada Pallavagam Vinidhaya Kumbadande Pranam Same Saganadhiraj Vignan Vihantamalamasya Jagatrese Govindamadi Purushantavam Bhajami. If you see any South temple, then first have Ganapati. Then only you can go to even Narayana. Because Ganesha is meant to remove all the obstacles. Brahma Samhita speaks about it. Because Ganesha is engaged in worshipping Narsimha, not Narsimha. And that is why Ganesha is very auspicious for the devotees in clearing all the obstacles. According to Vastu, according to Shilpakala, or you can say Sthapati, Sthapati uh, knowledge, Sthapatya knowledge. Sthapatya means how should be the temple structure. Ganesha is there in every temple. It should be there also. Ganesha deity should be there in every temple so that he clears the obstacles. Now, Prabhupada could not do that to his devotees because his audience were foreigners. They were not understanding anything. That is why Prabhupada said, just have deities of Krishna. That is, worship Krishna properly. But if you see Gopinath temple, on the top you have Ganesha. You should have Ganesha deities should be kept in every temple. Even we are also having. Even in Jagannath Devasthanam, we have kept. Without Ganesha, auspiciousness cannot come. According to the Vastu of our temple, also any Vastu of the temple, the deity should not be bathed in water which has been touched by the nails or fingers. Not do like this inside. Even when we do the Bhuta Shuddhi, when we do the invoke the 7 rivers, should be touched like this. Nails should not be put down. When a devotee is perspiring, he should not engage himself in the deity, in the worship of deity. Perspiring is in so much of pasina at that time, he should not worship. Similarly, there are many other prohibitions. For example, one should not cross or step over the flowers offered to the deities, nor should one take a vow in the name of God. God promise. All these things should not be done. And then these are all different kinds of offenses in matter of executing devotional service, and one should be very careful to avoid them. So these chapters are very, very important chapters. Okay. Kalash, read the next paragraph.
In the Padma Purana, it is stated that even a person whose life is completely sinful will be completely protected by the Lord if he simply surrenders unto him. So it is accepted that one who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes free from all sinful reactions. And even when a person becomes an offender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he can still be delivered simply by taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In other words, the chanting of Hare Krishna is beneficial for eradicating all sins. But if one becomes an offender to the holy names of the Lord, he has no chance of being delivered. Hare Krishna.
So if a person's life is sinful, he will be completely protected if he takes shelter of Lord. And if he is offending Lord, he can take shelter of holy name. But if he is offending the name itself, then there is no hope. So by chanting the holy name of Lord, one can become free from all the sins. So when you go to Tirupati Balaji, everywhere you'll hear Govinda, 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 everywhere. Name itself is enough to make a person cross this material ocean. That is why it is said Tirupati is Bhuvaikuntha. So wherever you hear, the name is there. That's why even if a person walks inside the temple, you'll hear Srila Prabhupada's voice, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada sound should be kept, that it goes on continuously. In the altar it should be kept, because name is enough to make a person cross this material ocean. Okay, read further.
The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for
So this is
propagating the holy
from
names
Padma
of the
Puran.
Lord.
It's from Padma Puran. Satam nindanamna paramaparadam vidante. Yata khyatим yatam kadam sartat vigraham. Shivasya Shri Vishnu Yeguramaadi Sakalam Diyabinnam Pashet Sakalanama Sakaraihi Guru Ravagya Satichasandranam Tatartavado Arirami Kalpanam Namno Baladhyasya hi Papa Buddhi Navidyate Se Meri Shuddhi Dharma Tatagutadi Sarva Shubha Kriya Samyamapi Pramada Shadadani Vimukke Prashnavati Yacchopadeshi Shivanama Aparada Shruti Pinama Matme Priti Raito Nara Aham Mamadi Paramo Namni Swapatrata. So these are the verses in Sanskrit, which actually, if you learn, it will be very nice. From the Padma Puran, you put these verses, Aditya. It is there in Padma Puran, Satam Nindanamna, Paramaparadam Vidanute. You see in the this, you'll get these verses. And try to put this verse and chant it every day in Sanskrit. In English, everyone is chanting. Somebody told me, Mataji, it would be very nice if you chant in Sanskrit. That is the day I learned these verses. And every day in this Namaparada, everybody has to chant. So first Namaparada is Satam Nindanamnah Paramaparadam Vidanute. So what is it? First Namaparada? Blaspheme a devotee. Blaspheme anyone, in fact. But blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name. Satam Nindanamna Paramaparadam Vidanute. Yada Khyati Yatam Katam Satat Vigraham. The next is what? Shivasya Shri Vishnu Yaigunamadi Sakalam Diya Binnam Pashte Sukalamit Karai. You cannot consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. No, and they are not independent. They are dependent on Lord. And then read the second one. It's a big paragraph. Is there? Read the second one, Palash.
Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahman, Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheist class men take it that an demigod is as good as the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali Kali or Durga Durga and is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense.
You cannot repeat God's name and think that it is equal to Krishna. Okay, read the second. Guru Ravagya. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
Third, to disobey the orders of spiritual master.
Shruti Shastra Nindanam. Shruti Shastra Nindanam. So to blaspheme the Vedic literature or the literature in pursuit of the Vedic version.
Versions.
Next, Tatharthavado.
To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
Tatharthavado. Harinamni Kalpanam. Tatharthavado is actually sixth one. Here it is given ulta. Tatharthavado is the sixth one. Harinamni Kalpanam is actually the sixth, which is put in the fifth. Understood? Tatharthavado Harinamni Kalpanam. Seventh one, the most dangerous one. Ramno Balad Yassi Papa Buddhi. What is the seventh one? Read.
To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. It should not be taken that because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all the kinds of sinful reactions. One may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided.
So on the strength of the holy name, one cannot commit offenses. Next. Namno Balad Yassi Papa Buddhi Ravityate Sameri Shuddhi Dharmavata Tagotadi Dharmavata Tagotadi Sarvashubhaktiya Samyamapi Pramada. Thinking that karmakand activities is equal to spiritual activity. Like somebody saying, Satyanarayana Puja is going on. Please come. And you're chanting the holy name. You say, Satyanarayana Puja. That is also coming in karmakand. Even Satyanarayana Puja comes in karmakand because the purpose of performing this Satyanarayana Puja is not to attend pure devotional service. Generally, people perform Satyanarayana Puja just because they want some material benefits. Especially after Vivaha, they will perform. Or some, so that is coming in, to that extent we are speaking. Other Karmakanda Puja, anyhow, is included. But the topmost of it is also, Satyanarayana Puja is also coming in Karmakanda. So don't consider that to be a pure devotional service. Because intention behind it is Karmakanda. Karmakanda means the intention behind it is to achieve material benefits. Next is
To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kand.
Ashadadane Vimukhe Pashmati Echopades Nama Parada. Never speak about Lord to a Shraddhalu Vyakti. Read that. Ninth.
Ninth, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning, one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter.
And lastly, Shruti Pinam Mahatme Priti Rahito Naraha. Shruti Pinam Mahatmaya Priti Rahito Naraha. After hearing so much, also there is no Priti. Shruti Pinamno Yah Priti Rahito Nara. Aham Mamadi Paramo Namni Apasupapradakot. Aham. Still maintaining that Aham. Instead of surrendering to Lord, still what is that Aham? Aham Mamadi. Still ignorance is maintained. Aham and Mama. Read the last one.
10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Hare Krishna.
We'll stop here. So 8th chapter is also over now. 9th chapter is further considerations of devotional principles. So that we'll see.
Mataji, I have one doubt in this Nectar of Devotion, closed book assessment, chapter 8, define Seva Pradhana and Nama, Seva Apradha and Nama Apradha. So Seva Apradha, so many are there, we have to write all of them.
10.
10.
10, 15.
Okay. Yes, Mataji.
If you write all 32, it will be nice.
Okay.
So you want to chant something? I know.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
She is going to chant Haigree Stotra. Chant.
ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं
Nirmala.
निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीव उपास्महे
Yesterday I taught her. This is the shloka.
अन्याभिलाषनाशून्यं ज्ञानकर्मदिनार्थम् अनुकूलेन कृष्णेन जीवनं भक्तियुक्तम्
Sheelanam Bhakti. Vedanta Deshikar is the bell of Tirumalai. When their father and mother goes to ask for a child, in the dream, the bell of Tirumala temple enters the stomach of mother, and the same dream comes to the father. So when the priest exercises, there is no bell. So it's actually the bell incarnation, Vedanta Deshika. He has written this Hayagriva Sutra. Hayagriv comes and he writes Hayagriv, it is, but this is the first mantra, Hayagriv mantra. Okay. Aruna wants to speak to Thoklu.
Hare Krishna, Nenu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
She is now in the sleeping mode.
Yeah.
Panchakalpatarubhascha, Upasindubhya Patitanam Pavani Vishnavi Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.